Okay, this is your last practice video for your final exam. We're in PathPilot Hub. You've logged in already. Just a quick review. If you start PathPilot, we got to tell it the machine. So we're going to hit enter. I'm going to take you through that one more time just to make sure that that's not an issue. You're comfortable setting up your machine and loading your tool library. So you're going to hit agree. You're going to go to find machine. 2 series with upgrades. Give it a second to load. Here we are. All right, first thing I want to do is make sure my tool library is the correct one. So I'm sorry, I'm going to go to offsets, import from our virtual. We loaded this up the other day. Hit OK. Notice that our tools changed to the same ones we have in the shop. Next, I'm going to go to the main menu, reset, and reference my machine. Okay, I'm going to zero these out temporarily after it's referenced, and then we're going to send it over and down 5 inches. So we're going to do G 0, X 5, Y -5, Z -5. We hit go to. I'm going to right click and do the ISO view. You can see where we've moved it to. We're going to assume that that's our vise. Again, we got to re-zero things out here, and we should have plenty of room to do our work. So this video is going to cover under conversationally doing a drilling operation. So I'm going to give you the information you need, but you could look to the library for offsets. The bit we're using is bit number 8, and we're using the spot bit, or the centering bit is bit number 15, the center drill. All right, so how are we going to do that? We're going to go to conversation. Under spot tool, we said it's number 15. Under depth, we're going to put 60 thousandths for that. All right. For the actual tool for the drilling, we're going to do tool number 8. All right, we're going to leave these things alone. Z clearance has got to be positive, so I'm going to put 20 thousandths in there. So this is just setting things up here. Now, peck depth, I like to do a little bit less. I'm going to say 10 thousandths, so it's going to go through a number of operations so it doesn't break the drill. The Z start, we're going to put that at 0. Now, how deep are we going to go? Notice that this is a negative number. I made a mistake a couple times. I forgot to put the negative number. We're going to actually look at this document, which you'll have access to. This is the location of our holes. This is the size of our holes. We have 4 holes to a depth of a ½ inch. And these are our locations. We'll be back with that in a second. So our depth is going to be -0.5. Whoops, try that again. -0.5 is the depth for our holes. Now this corresponds to the X and Y locations for each hole. Remember that although that this is a positive number, if that's my vise, this is a negative Y direction. So we would have to put a negative in front of all these. This is a positive X direction, so these remain the same. The coordinates of this one is easy. Positive 5X, negative 5Y. Coordinate of this one's easy. Positive 5.5X, negative 0.5. This one, positive 5X, negative 2.5. Positive 5.5X, negative 2.5Y. So we got to enter those values in. You'll have that document. Just a quick review. First hole is a positive X, negative Y. These values I pulled off that drawing. Next hole, I'm going to go over to the right. 5, double click there again. Next hole, 5.5 in the X. We're still in the same location for our Y, -0.5. In this case, we're going to go back to our original X distance, which is 0.5, but now we're dropping down to that new Y location. Let me just pull this in. So I'm going to specify this hole. I just did these two. Now this one is +5 in the X, -2.5, and then I'm going to specify this guy. All right. So -2.5 in the Y. This one's going to be 5.5. Whoops. 5.5 in the X, and this remains at -2.5 in the Y. All right, so we have a total of 4 holes. These are the coordinates for each of those holes. Notice that all of our Y's are negative, which makes sense. All of our X's are positive, which makes sense. This is the depth of our hole. This is the spot bit that's going to do, it's our centering bit. This is the peck depth. This is the bit that we're using, which is the hole diameter. When you go to post to file, whoops. These were all supposed to go up one. I don't know if it'll let me do that. Ah, shoot. I'm going to go back, and all of these values need to get moved up. So that's a bummer. Got to type them in again. 0.5, -0.5. 5 point, whoops. 5.5. -5. 0.5. Come on. 0.5. This is -2.5. This one is 5.5. This stays at -2.5. So let me delete that. Delete that. Now it should be happy. All right, let's try posting that one. So we got to give it a name. You're going to name this your last name, practice. All right, we'll just call it drill. All right, we're going to put it in your virtual files. You're going to hit save. Go back to the tab. Actually, let's take a look at it first. Make sure you did it right. ISO view. If we hit cycle start, it's going to go through the ask for the centering bit. We hit cycle start again. It does our centering operation, and that looks good to me. I'm going to make you watch the whole thing, but that's what it should look like. It's going to ask us to start it again when we switch bits, because it's doing, this is a 2-part operation, and we put the next tool in, and it's going to go off and do that. All right, so once that's done, we should see our drill operation here. I've got this one. What happened? Let me go back. Stop that. What happened when I did that? So conversation, quickly, I'm going to post that one more time because something happened. Oh, I posted it in the wrong location. I need to be in virtual here. So now I need to put hit save. Then we go back to this file. Now I can see it. I hit that. Remember, it downloads it. I don't want to open it because it's just going to show me the G code. Instead, I want to go to my downloads and put that in your folder. So here's my downloads. Copy that. Put that in your student folder, PathPilot files, and hit save, or paste rather. All right,